Roller and Saru, sitting together, were listening Kuhu's song. After finishing his singing, he saw Saru and the roller. Kuhu was thrilled to see a bird with so many blue feathers. He thought that if a single blue feather of mine can yield so many songs, then with all these blue feathers, how many songs will this roller have? He could not understand whether he should envy the roller for his blue feathers or leave a sigh of relief that he is not having them. He said to the roller, "You have so many blue feathers, and so probably you must be getting inspired to sing songs continuously." Roller laughed and said,
All the blue feathers are not magical like your blue feather. All my feathers are blue, but not a single one is magical. And so, songs don't come to me as they come to you. I feel like singing, but I can't. Doesn't matter, but I love listening songs.
"And so, we are here to listen to your songs," said Saru. "But what's going on? Why are your songs becoming so different?"
To tell you really,
Kuhu paused, relaxed his body and fanned out the tail feathers. He sweetly twirled around himself and puffed up his feathers. At last, in a heavy voice, he revealed,
my heart is full of love. I am in love.
"In love? Great! Nowadays, so many birds are looking for mates. Who is that lucky Miss Cuckoo that you are in love with?" asked the roller.
No, not a cuckoo. I am in love with Manushi,
said Kuhu.
Who? Who is this Manushi?
Is she the girl who visits the forest with other humans? The one who comes here every day to hear you singing? But she's a human. She is not a cuckoo to fall in love with. She is not even a bird, yelled Saru. Her loud shouting made the trees tremble in fright and shed a few leaves. Kuhu's statement had stunned Saru, Startle and Roller. Only Whirligig, the chameleon, said calmly, "It's a crush. Only he realizes how humans are. His love for them will not last long. You don't have to worry." Kuhu resolved that he will talk to Manushi in her language, and so he decided to learn her language. Maina advised him,
"Humans don't have one language like you think. They have many, and even they don't understand each other's languages. Actually, they quarrel over languages. Everyone thinks his language is the best of all. Those humans who lisp or stammer are laughed at by those who speak clearly."
Kuhu asked her calmly,
"Which is Manushi's language? Do you know it? If yes, then will you help me to learn and speak in that language? Just tell me yes or no. Don't give me a lecture on it."
Irritated with all this, at last Maina agreed to teach him the language. She started teaching Kuhu Manushi's language. Kuhu was quite an intelligent bird. He learned quickly enough words to speak to Manushi in her language. His little head ached with the words he had to remember. But he enjoyed his learning, imagining that one day it will help him to speak with Manushi. One day in the morning, when Manushi came to the mango tree, Kuhu flapped his black shiny wings and proudly placed himself on a branch in front of her. Manushi looked at him and smiled. Kuhu, in his sweet voice, said,
"Good morning, Manushi. How are you?"
Manushi was shocked. Her pen slipped from her hand. Startle was around. He grabbed the pen in his teeth and climbed the tree. He returned the pen to Manushi, which he was holding, by coiling his tail. "Now, is this tree rat going to say something?" She spoke aloud to herself.
"No, He can't speak your language. He can understand what you say, but he can't reply,
said Kuhoo. But then, how can you speak? And she looked at him searchingly.
For I have deliberately learned it from Maina. From past few days, I have been learning your language,
said Kuhoo. But why? She asked curiously.
So that I can talk with you, and you should also be able to understand me,
said Kuhoo. Manushi was amused by his speech and by the fact he could talk at all. She leaned against the trunk of the tree and said, "Then speak out." Kuhoo was delighted to hear this. He was overjoyed to speak Manushi's language and having her there to listen to him. He spoke to Manushi hastily. He was excited. He wished to tell all to her and all at once. He told her his complete story. He was still unable to understand why Mother Cuckoo, instead of warming her egg personally, had placed her egg in Crow's nest. He still felt sad because Father Crow and Mother Crow left him alone. But now, due to Manushi, he forgot all his sadness. Now they met every day and talked a lot. He used to sing new songs for her. It was as if he needed no one else anymore. He every now and then felt that Manushi had very different and higher sensibilities than all his friends living in the forest. She eagerly played good songs on her CD player for him. She read some selected passages to him from some nice book. She took pictures of the smallest bugs as well as the vastness of nature spread across the mountains and the sky. She captured massively varying proportions in her camera while he stared wide-eyed as she clicked the pictures. And her computer, it was an unimaginable new world for him. She stored all the information about the forest that Kuhoo told her in her computer. Like unrolling a giant green velvet carpet, Kuhoo unrolled and revealed the entire forest in front of her. She was overwhelmed by the novelty and varieties of wondrous trees and shrubs, animals and birds of the forest. One pleasant morning, Kuhoo told Manushi,
I love you.
Manushi started laughing. Saru heard Manushi laughing and, leaving everything aside, came out to see what was happening. Startle usually meddled in their matters, but now he hurriedly gave a call to Bavra.
Why are you laughing like this? Did I say anything wrong?
Said Kuhoo, who was hurt by her laugh. Manushi said,
Silly bird, I'm a human being and you are a bird. How can a human and a bird fall in love? But why can't they?
Kuhoo innocently asked. What sort of madness is this? Irritated, Manushi said. She noticed that Saru, Startle, Bavra were looking at her. This irritated her more. Without uttering a word to Kuhoo, she just trotted off angrily. Kuhoo felt very sad. He couldn't understand why Manushi is behaving in this way. He could only recall how she searched the forest for him. She used to forget herself while listening to Kuhoo's song. She couldn't even hear her friends calling her, nor did she hear the scolding of Rama Madam. She read and memorized all books on cuckoos. She surprised Kuhoo with her knowledge of him and grinned impishly at his amazed expression. She used to bring for Kuhoo little yellow bananas as he liked them so much. When she was with Kuhoo in the forest, Manushi was unafraid, even though she was not with her group. Moreover, Manushi was worried about Kuhoo. This orphan, homeless chick must have struggled very hard in the forest just to survive. Storms, fires, rains, lightning, predators. How did he face all these things? We stay in four walls of a cozy house. And Kuhoo, he didn't even have a twig nest to stay in. While we get delicious cooked food twice a day as much as we want, Kuhoo flied in search of grubs and seeds afar. She felt ashamed. She thought that had he used this free time to devote to his singing, he could have developed as a great singer. She used to discuss these things with Kuhoo. That made Kuhoo open up and share his thoughts with her as well. What must have made my best friend so angry? She is a human and I'm a bird. Does that mean that we should not love each other?